postponement of key games like Rainbow Six Siege and The Division into the 2025 lineup. Wait, there was supposed to be a new Division in 2025? I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird. Our favorite topic on this channel. Ubisoft investors have had enough, threatened to protest and sue due to poor management and transparency.
The situation has gone from worse to dire for Ubisoft as they face adversity on all fronts. I mean, gamers are starting to lose faith in Ubisoft's ability to kind of really push boundaries and be creative. Media outlets and games industry pundits don't particularly like the way executives have been treating their IPs, their studios, their employees, and developers. And now investors are pissed off that Ubisoft just isn't offering a lot of information and a good path forward for investors to be able to make money off of their investment. So if you look at Ubisoft right now and what their stock price looks like, you can see that it's quite literally the lowest we've seen it.
It's like jumping off a cliff, and the sad part, Ubisoft stock is gonna be even worse. That's my prediction. It's gonna be even worse when Assassin's Creed Shadow drops. I think Ubisoft stock is gonna be even lower
in a very long time. And that's a combination of numerous factors, including game delays, game flops, game cancellations, studio shutdowns, layoffs that have like negatively impacted Ubisoft in ways that, it would be tough for Ubisoft to recover from. Things are so dire that Tencent and the Guillemot family, who are the majority owners of Ubisoft, are thinking about taking the company private via a buyout, and there are turmoils there as well for Ubisoft, with Tencent trying to take, a bigger piece of the pie, but Ubisoft not wanting that to happen.
Okay, I feel like context is very important here about Ubisoft and Tencent. Ubisoft is in dire financial need. Tencent offered them a deal to buy the company, right? Take majority ownership. But Ubisoft refused to change the leadership positions. So Tencent went, okay, then it's a no deal. Like, why would we basically bank you out of this crisis while the people who tanked it still are in the leadership position?
And then Ubisoft has had to go out and tell investors things like the following statement during a financial briefing. This from January 9th, 2025, where they highlighted how they have appointed leading advisors to review and pursue various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders. Similarly, this is another statement from Ubisoft's boss, Yves Guillemot, who said, "We have taken decisive steps to reshape the group in order to deliver best-in-class player experiences, enhance operational efficiency, and maximize value creation. We also recently appointed leading advisors and are actively exploring various strategic and capitalistic options to unlock the full value potential of our assets. We're convinced that there are several potential paths to generate value from Ubisoft's assets and franchises."
So I think I mentioned this before. I think the most value Ubisoft does have is gutting it for each IP. At least I think. I think the name Ubisoft is worthless at this point, but the IPs have value. So if they basically do like an IP auction for each like franchise, it would generate more money for them than actually selling off the company.
Yeah, yo, let my boy Rayman go.
This is their attempt to essentially assuage the concerns and worries of investors by telling them that we're taking steps, we're getting advice from lead advisors, but it's also vague.
Wait, he has the same plushie I have. Vegeta.
That investors are not convinced, and the fact that Ubisoft is being so vague has just raised a lot of questions. IGN itself reported on that same day, January 9th, that Ubisoft got grilled by investors during a financial briefing that happened around that time, with plenty of folks asking a lot of questions that Ubisoft refused to give answers to. And so the outlook surrounding Ubisoft in the eyes of investors is not good at all. Now, another investment firm that I want to highlight is this one right here, AJ Investments, specifically this individual, Jiraj Krupa, who issued the following letter to Ubisoft. this open letter in which he was
As a significant minority shareholder in Ubisoft Entertainment via AG Investments and our partners, we are writing to express our deep dissatisfaction with the current performance and strategic direction of the company. The recent quarterly results, which included the postponement of key games like Rainbow Six Siege and The Division into the 2025 lineup. Wait, there was a Wait, what? There was supposed to be a new Division in 2025?
Division 3 got canceled, bro.
In Rainbow Six Siege. Something about Rainbow Six Siege. What? Into the lineup 2025 and a lowered revenue outlook for the quarter 2 2024 have heightened our concerns about the management's ability to deliver value to shareholders over the long term. Share price of Ubisoft have decreased by more than 40% over the last year, compared to rise of its competitors and DEX. This letter consists of following points. Take Ubisoft private or allow it to sell it to strategic investors. Ubisoft valuation, why we believe Ubisoft is a great undervalued company and should be worth between 40 to 45 euro per share. I want to buy a share. Can we just crowdfund and buy out Ubisoft? Our concerns about the future of this company with current management and director. Okay, that's a very valid point.
was very adamant about Ubisoft just not knowing what the hell they're doing. And so it reads right here, this statement from Krupa: as a significant minority shareholder in Ubisoft Entertainment via AJ Investments and our partners,
If I would have known that he's gonna read it, I wouldn't have read it.
we're writing to express our deep dissatisfaction with the current performance and strategic direction of the company. Scrolling further down, we have another quote to that effect where it reads right here: Ubisoft at current state is mismanaged and shareholders are hostages of the Guillemot family members and Tencent who take advantage of.
Wait, that's strong words. Our company has extensive knowledge about the gaming industry, and we were long-term shareholders in Activision Blizzard. And we started our Ubisoft position a couple weeks ago and still adding to it. We cannot understand the decision-making process of current management that is focused on releasing multiple average games per year that are harming Ubisoft's reputation among gamers community, instead of focusing to provide hit games within its exceptional franchise portfolio. Okay, this investor is based. Decisions you guys are making, they're so brain dead. Why you're releasing some half-baked games? Division Heartland, which was very much expected game from the gamers, was cancelled. Okay, so it was a new Division game. Oh my god, it would have been big.
You know how people freaking raved about Division 1, 2?
Yes.
2 release, boom, instant hit. If the Division 3 were to release, boom.
It's a good thing that Division 3 did not come out with the people they have right now. Skull and Bones release was not successful. Prince of Persia Lost Crown was okay, but not very impressive, as nobody talks about the game anymore. No one even talked about it when it came out. Rainbow Siege is doing great. Nevertheless, franchises such Rayman, Splinter Cell, For Honor, Watch Dogs are sleeping for years, despite these games are loved by millions of players all around the world. So they literally specifically mentioned Rayman.
Of course. And Splinter Cell.
And Splinter Cell, and For Honor, and Watch Dogs. Latest release of Star Wars Outlaws is expected to bring good numbers, but recent reviews shows that game was not 100% ready to release. That is the most mildest take on Star Wars. Despite the fact that the whole world was waiting for an open world game under the Star Wars franchise. Okay, that is true. That is true. If it would have been a good open world game, people would have guzzled it up. They literally would have went gug on it. The Metacritic rating was 76%, and IGN has 7 out of 10 rating, which is quite good rating in our view. Okay, you know what? The investors are not based anymore. They're listening to Metacritic and IGN. That suggests Ubisoft has 67% discount for the peers, which is concerning. At least now we know. It's not the investors that are pushing this onto Ubisoft, it's Ubisoft keeping the investors hostages.
Well, this same individual from AJ Investments, Krupa, has come out and said months after releasing that September 2024 open letter that they're planning to essentially host a protest right outside Ubisoft's Paris HQ. This was reported by...
Oh?
Was that the same one?
No. No, this is March 12th. Ubisoft shareholders are planning to protest. Okay, so Ubisoft shareholder plots protest outside Paris HQ, accuse company of failing to reveal discussions with Microsoft, EA, and other allegedly interested in acquiring IPs. Okay, so they are trying to gut it. Microsoft, EA, and others are trying to acquire IPs. So now, all you can do as a gamer who grew up with like Ubisoft games, hope that your favorite franchise goes to a good publisher. It's like people will be basically right now just praying like, okay, please don't go to Microsoft. Okay, please don't go to EA.
HQ, at least not in the gaming realm, or at least not in recent years. So this is kind of wild. Krupa's statement continues by alleging that Ubisoft has not been transparent about its decision-making, accusing the firm of hiding information, including an Assassin's Creed Mirage DLC partnership with a Saudi investment firm.
I mean, the easiest thing to remember is why Ubisoft quite literally is lying to their investors. You can open the code they had.
Assassin's Creed Shadows was not only praised by players and critics alike, but also highlighted the cutting-edge capabilities of our game engine.
What we have factored in is a strong launch for Star Wars Outlaws that reflects the fact that indeed it's among the most awaited game of the industry this year, and reflects.
Like, they were literally lying their butts off to the investors. This was the call with the investors.
Savi Group. This wouldn't be the first time that Ubisoft has been condemned by shareholders and investors over just a general lack of transparency or concrete details about courses of action moving forward. In this IGN article from January 9th, 2025, where they reported that Ubisoft investors grilled the CEO and the CFO and just Ubisoft across the board, there are questions being asked here like, whether there are any concrete courses of action or scenarios that are being considered, or is this more of an exploratory kind of process, prodding for any sort of specifics on the part of Ubisoft. This is a question that was asked by somebody from Morgan Stanley, and Ubisoft just couldn't offer any concrete responses. The Morgan Stanley individual further elaborated.
Well, of course they cannot provide concrete responses because, quite frankly, they don't want to admit how much they fumbled.
Yeah.
That he wanted to know what was different about this announcement as opposed to past statements by Ubisoft about such exploration. So Ubisoft has been providing sort of very generic statements assuring investors that, they're looking into things with professionals who will help them, guide them. But this being such a generic statement that very much seems to be about saying a lot of things, like saying a lot of words while saying absolutely nothing with them. A lot of just kind of disapproval and a lot of worries were expressed in this particular investors meeting. But yeah, you can see right here, anytime an investor or an investment group asked very specific questions, Guillemot would decline to comment or would provide a nothing burger of a generic response. Going back to Krupa's recent statement, something else he pointed out is this restricted article published by business investment platform Merger Market that alleged that apparently Microsoft, EA, and other publishers have been interested in acquiring IPs from Ubisoft, and that's seemingly something that Ubisoft has not, publicly disclosed to investors, or something that they've made a point to highlight.
Wait, so they weren't even telling the investors that they're considering to sell off like their IPs like on a meat market? While exact figures for Assassin's Creed Shadow budget haven't been officially disclosed by Ubisoft, various reports and industry speculations provide some insight. Rumors suggest the production budget could range between 250 million and 350 million, with development starting around 2018. This estimate aligns with the scale of modern AAA titles from Ubisoft, especially given Shadows is a flagship entry in the Assassin's Creed series, featuring a large open world set in feudal Japan, not Japan. Additionally, Ubisoft CEO confirmed in October 2024 that the initial delay from November 2024 to February 2025 added an extra 20 million, approximately 21 million USD, to the budget for polishing and optimization. A second delay to March 20th likely increased costs further, potentially by several million more, though no precise figure has been specified for this extension. These delays reflect Ubisoft's focus on delivering a high-quality experience, but they also inflate the overall investment, including marketing, which for a title of this magnitude could easily match or exceed half of the production costs. The total budget might approach or surpass 400 million. For example, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the budget was around 150 to 200 million. This is looking grim.
Very.
There's no way they'll recover the money.